Okay, now we cross over to Kisii County, where we have Janet Nyamwamu standing by. Janet is going to be speaking to us on some unrest that has been witnessed there, and more than 10 houses were torched and several others vandalized in fresh interclan clashes in Transmara West sub-county, and that is Narok. Janet, have you been crossing borders?
Good morning. We are well here in Kisii, and well, yesterday our team from Nation here in Kisii visited Transmara, which is bordering Kisii at the town of Kilgoris, at a place known as No Saen and Noratet. The clans there are still fighting, and more than 10 houses have been torched, and people there are wondering where the leaders are, because they are not seeing the leaders. The leaders are very silent on the matter. The leaders, who is the MP and the area governor, the residents there are wondering what's happening with the leaders, because the clashes have been going on for like 10 decades now. The villages that have been affected are Sikawa, Moita, Ndonyo, and Oldanyati villages, which have been affected by the clashes. And the 10 houses that were burnt, some of them were burnt, the more than 10 houses, some of them were burnt last Friday, and 2 suspects have been so far arrested by the security personnel and the security agents in that area. The Transmara Security Committee has visited that area and has been holding several talks to calm down and restore peace in those clans. The KNMCA, Mark Mukut, said the situation was getting out of hand and is appealing to the government to get to the bottom of these clashes. Residents are, as I've said, are accusing elected leaders who are asking why Governor Samuel Tadui and MP Gideon Conchela remained silent about the matter. 2 weeks ago, a 15-year-old student was killed by the police during bloody confrontations with warriors there, and the Form 2 student, we were told, schools at Migori County. He was at home following the government's order to close schools as a result of the dreaded pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic. 2 other boys were rushed to Tenwek Mission Hospital in Bomet County, and they were treated and discharged. Police say the 3 boys were shot in a war zone, but residents claim they were watching the fighting from their homes. So authorities have unsuccessfully tried to end the clashes that have lasted for 3 decades. The Transmara inter-border dispute, which has left dozens dead and hundreds maimed, has raged on since 1976, and according to the government, that's according to the government records. Rift Valley Regional Coordinator George Natembeya recently led other security operators and officers in denouncing the violence and moving and vowing to embrace peace in that area. So that's what we found out when we went there to see what's happening, because there were calls coming in that there are clashes, and our team visited the area, and that's what we found in Transmara.
Thank you, Janet. And thank you for giving us that context to the clashes that were witnessed on Tuesday evening. She says more than 10 houses were torched and several others vandalized in fresh interclan clashes in Transmara West sub-county, which borders Kisii County, where Janet was speaking to us from. And now we cross over to Makueni County, and there we have Kelvin Silu, my apologies, Kelvin. And he'll be speaking to us on the adjustments to the operations at the county referral hospital. He tells us, he'll be telling us about the isolation center at the facility. And he says that those who are visiting the facility have their temperature checked and then step on disinfectant at certain points. Is that accurate, Kelvin? Kelvin, can you hear me? All right, that is Kelvin Kisilu.
Well, a very good morning to you. I'm joining you live from Makueni County Water, and today here we are joined by the ECM in charge of health and in the county of Makueni, Dr. Andrew Mutava-Muloch, to just give us a brief on what is happening and what Makueni County is doing in terms of fighting coronavirus in this area. And just in the morning, while we were entering the gate of Makueni Level 4 Hospital, we found patients and anybody else who was visiting the hospital being disinfected at the feet, and others being maybe screened temperatures as they enter the gate at the Makueni County Referral Hospital. And the Makueni County Referral Hospital has put some measures to make sure that this disease does not spread further. And just to say that some of guidelines that they have put in place today is that when you are entering the gate, you enter alone, and when it comes to bed capacity, initially at the wards we used to have more than 20 patients in the wards, but now they have reduced to a bit a lower number. And just now I'm being joined by the ECM, or rather Executive Committee member in charge of Health Department, Makueni County, to give us a brief of what is really happening here in Makueni. Karibu Bwana Waziri.
Thank you very much, Kevin. We are here at the Makueni County Referral Hospital. Us as a county, we are prepared, and our first priority preparedness is to ensure that we as much as possible try to prevent this disease from getting into Makueni. As we report now, we have not had a confirmed case of COVID-19. We are, however, on the alert, and our surveillance teams have been following up leads or suspected cases that have been coming from the communities. Here we have, behind me, we have the County Referral Hospital Isolation Center, which we intend to use as a critical care center, because this is a facility that has 11 beds, that all of them connected to oxygen. Remember, we have our own oxygen generating plant. We are able to pipe oxygen in this facility. We have beds, we have 6 ventilators. We are also having another now treatment center in Makindu, which is able to accommodate 750 clients. And that will be essentially our normal treatment center. For cases that do not have severe complications, we expect them to be managed in that Makindu treatment center. For this one is for critically ill, acting like a referral hospital. On my right, there is another building which we have reserved for other non-critically sick patients who will be able to come to our county referral hospital. So we have this unit that has 11 beds, and we have another unit that has 10 beds. So in total, in the county referral hospital, we have 21 facilities. We are doing infection prevention. As you enter the hospital, you are supposed you have to be sanitized. You have to wash your hands. You have to have hand sanitizer. We have also limited the number of people who are visiting our patients in the hospital. We have asked our members of public to declare just one member of the public who is declared at the time of a patient is being admitted.
Now cross over to Murang'a County, where we have Martin Mwaura, and there, according to the brief I have, there have been cases of alleged police brutality and bribe taking. Can you shed more light on that, Martin?
Yes, good morning from County 021 Olive. As you have rightly said, yes, there are an array of allegations from the residents of Murang'a town accusing the police, together with the administrators, of what they're calling as brutal attacks against the residents during the curfew, which starts from 7. So now some of the residents here are even accusing the police and even the administrator, that is the chiefs and the assistants, of what they're calling as seeking for bribes or asking for bribes after the arrest during the curfew. The most affected constituency is Kegumo constituency, where they have recorded, managed to record 6 cases of police brutality and even bribe. These are stories that we'll also be bringing at our subsequent bulletin. And to bring to your attention is that the residents are accusing the police of using excess force. Some of them are even saying that the police are actually pouncing on them even before time, like 5 minutes to 7, when they are heading home. And they're using what they're calling as excess force. And some of them have actually been left nursing serious head, legs, and hand injuries. Also, something else that has come to our attention is the police are actually demanding for a bribe of between 5,000 and 15,000, depending on who they have arrested. I'm being informed that one look at you, maybe by the dressing mode, they can be able to determine. Or even some are saying that it is the chief who is determining. The chief know people very well from their various locations. It is the chief who is determining the amount of bribe that the police will ask from somebody. I have cases of people who are arrested. Some were actually, the police were asking for 25,000 shillings. But it is some have managed to negotiate to 15,000 shillings. Others they are paying in installment these the so-called bribes. So they're asking the police, the CS in charge of interior to kindly intervene to ensure that this does not continue. Some are saying that some of the policemen, not all, but some of the policemen and the administrators are taking advantage of this curfew to try and make money and also assault the residents. They're even asking IPOA to come in and investigate so that stern action can be taken against these people who are beating the residents. Now from Murang'a, that is all we have, but we'll be bringing more in details during our subsequent bulletin. And I just want to take you to our Mombasa correspondent, Kevin Mutai, for more. Kevin, to you.
Now, thanks so much, my colleague Martin Maura. Here in the coast region specifically, I'm in Mombasa and working from home, but what we can tell you is that the commencement of the containment, the secessional movement began yesterday at 7 p.m. and we saw few people get stranded as they were being blocked at police roadblocks. Remember, there are several roadblocks that have been erected by law enforcers here within the three counties, that is the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa. Between Likoni and Kwale, there are two. There's one in Gombeni and there's another one in Kombani along the highway from Mombasa to Nairobi. There's one in Bonje area and another one in Mazeras. And on this other way from Mombasa to Malindi, there are two roadblocks as well, one from Kilifi County in Mtwapa and another one as well at Shanzu. And we even saw that there are several people, hundreds if not thousands, who are residing in Mtwapa and working in Mombasa. So all of that, all those number of people have been banned from accessing or crossing over from their county to Mombasa. And of course, I'm sure that this is something that the authorities maintain that they will continue implementing until the end of 21 days. So Mombasa, Kilifi, and Kwale are no-go zones for anyone planning to come over here or anyone planning to leave the three counties. This is in efforts to combat the spread of the coronavirus. Remember, out of the 179 cases that are currently being the positive cases here in the country, the three counties here in the coastal strip have been mapped and as the hotspots. And of course, now it is up to the health authorities to continue tracing the persons who had come into contact with the positive cases. And according to some of a few that we spoke to, this is something that they can now manage since they've contained movement of people from here in the region and of course from outside as well. So this is something that is of key concern and we are following up. Remember also, before I wind up this link, is that we're expecting the deputy governor from Kilifi, that is Gideon Saburi, to be back in court today. Remember, on Monday when Saburi was taken to court, the DPP had filed an application seeking to have him detained at Manyani GK prison, and that is according to the DPP, they're saying that they argued that at that particular facility they have adequate isolation, an equipped isolation center, and we were informed that anytime from 9, that is when we're expecting that application, the ruling on that particular application to begin. So we are following up on various issues that are happening here in the coast region, and of course we will be updating you in our subsequent bulletins. Make sure you stay tuned to NTV and we'll give you an update of what you need to know from the coast region.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin speaking to us from his rooftop. And I have to admit, I envy his view. I live on the ground floor, so I have no view. All right, we now cross over to Nyeri County, more specifically the Dedan Kimathi University. And Melita Oletenges will be telling us, or rather has told us in his pre-production brief, that they're manufacturing masks and that leaders in that county have faced backlash over what people say are PR gimmicks in fighting COVID-19. Melita, why do they say their leaders are just playing PR?
Yes, indeed, Olive, the county government of Nyeri has made several interventions to stem the spread of coronavirus here in the county. And of course, remember, Nyeri has not even registered a single case, but the county is very serious on ensuring that every citizen of this county follows the guidelines provided or as directed by the national government and the president and the Ministry of Health. So, Olive, we've seen that the county government has already started the distribution of hand sanitizers. 13,000 liters of sanitizer was distributed by Kibos Sugar Company to the county government of Nyeri, and the county government, of course, has started now to distribute these sanitizers after repackaging them into small bottles, just to ensure that each and every citizen of this county will be provided with hand sanitizer in order to sanitize their hands, as well as also ensure that they are safe from the COVID-19 disease. Away from that, also, Olive, we've also seen institutions also joining the fight against COVID-19. We've seen the Dedan Kimathi University of Science and Technology here in Nyeri making masks and distributing to county governments. We've seen them distributing to Nyeri County and also Laikipia County governments, and they are making they are actually manufacturing face masks just to ensure that also every citizen of the county is safe from the virus. Now, however, there has been a backlash on leaders who are using these particular donations from well-wishers as a way to propagate their own PR gimmicks, and this is something that has caused an uproar on social media. We've seen residents particularly attacking the Nyeri County governor, saying that the sanitizer that was distributed by Kibos Sugar Company has now been labeled with his own picture, and this is something that people say they do not understand, bearing in mind these are donations from well-wishers, but now they are being used as PR gimmicks. So it is something that has caused an uproar on social media, and people are calling out leaders to actually condemn this. And also young youth from here, they are saying that this is not the way to go, particularly because this is a disease and it's not something that they wish their leaders should handle in that manner. Also, Olive, we've seen the Nyeri Town Member of Parliament Mbujiri Wambogo has also come out defending leaders who have been away, saying that of course leaders are also observing the social distancing rule. Remember, they are not allowed to hold public barazas at the moment, and this is why they're saying they've not come out to the grassroots to meet with their constituents, but they're saying that they are working together to ensure that they find a way as parliamentarians to ensure that they will continue with sittings starting from next week. And of course, he also called on well-wishers, saying that they should come out and also assist in the fight against COVID-19. The Nyeri Member of Parliament will also be distributing unga to households in Nyeri, targeting about 2,000 constituents every week. And this is something that, of course, they are saying they will focus on unga alone to ensure that the residents of this particular county are also provided with food. So, Olive, there are so many interventions going on in Nyeri, just to show you the seriousness of the matter and how people are actually involved in ensuring that the residents here are safe. Also, we've seen, following the Ministry of Health directive and the Cabinet Secretary Mutai Kagwe calling on youths to also join the fight, we've seen youths who have come out actually to even join the cause and distribute food to children homes. The youth have said that they are rather showing the humane side of it, just to provide food for those who may not have any. And we've seen them distributing vegetables, cereals, just to ensure that also those in children homes are also provided with food. So Olive, these are just a number of interventions. We are keeping an eye on these and more developments from this county. Also, Nyeri County is also screening those who are coming into the county via different roads that lead to this county. So Olive, there's so many interventions. We are following up on each and every one of them, hopefully to keep our viewers informed. But for now, over to you in studio.